What's going on, guys? I'm blessed to be bringing on right now a Mercer commit, probably one of the top point guards in the state of Florida, Quinones. How are you doing, man?
I'm all right, my guy. I'm good.
Yep, man. I guess before we kind of get this interview started, is there anything that you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out?
Not much. Yeah, no shout outs. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it sounds good. But anyways, we'll get right into the interview. I'd like to kind of start it off a little more lighter topics, maybe to stuff a little more personal, I guess, to get you kind of going. So I know you told me that I guess your mom's had a baby. I remember when my little brother was younger. I don't know why, man. I just love playing with babies and everything. I think they're very cute. I think it's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. It's like I guess having a baby in the house.
It's great the way like I can be a role model for him, like growing up. Like he has somebody to watch and look up to. So I think it's pretty cool. Just like, because I'm pretty sure like if I had like my older brother, I think the world of him. So like he probably thinks the same.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. I guess something for you. Like I talked to my sister about this today. She does not like basketball at all, but I told her, I'm like, listen, if you just listen to me, like, a few years ago, I could have turned you into, one of the best basketball players in the state,
Yeah.
whatever. Like I made her my little child prodigy. Is that you got any ideas about that? Maybe making your little brother to be even better than you?
Yeah. So my situation is he's a football player. Like he's like super rough. Like he's gonna be a football player. But multi-sport athlete, probably play basketball a little bit.
Yeah.
See what I can do there.
I mean,
Yeah.
football would definitely that'd be definitely be tough for sure. I don't know. I mean, if my little brother, he's like, oh, I'm gonna play football, I'd be like, yeah, I'm not trying to hurt you too much, but that's definitely
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. Then I guess continuing on the interview, obviously something that I really want to talk about. So I guess we'll talk about it first. I mean, you're committed to Mercer. I think you guys actually got kind of a decent recruiting class, I would say.
Yeah.
I know the team didn't do too well this year. You guys finished. Want to say I'm going to double check the record just so I get my facts. So you guys finished 8-10 in the conference, 16-17 overall. Not the greatest season for the Bears, but I mean with the recruiting class coming in, I think you guys really got a chance of doing something special, maybe even making a tournament run. So what do you think the potential is for that team?
I mean, sky's the limit for us. I've been talking to the guys a bit, like Michael and TJ and David, and like I think we're gonna be fine. We're going up there. We're all ready. I mean, we've been ready, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. What was the recruiting process like for you?
So I went into my 11th grade year with no offers. I came out with six. Um, Basically, I didn't start blowing up till like the end of the summer. Things got really like things started going well for me. Um, but it like everybody has like if you're not being recruited, like everybody's like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna go to college. Like I've been through it already. Like I didn't even know if I was going to college, but everything works out for the best. So I think about it as like you never know what could happen, and God has a plan for everybody.
Yeah. What was that like for you? Kind of thinking in your mind, maybe I'm not going to play college basketball. Maybe I'll just be like, the average person. What was that like? Kind of going through that process where you really didn't know if you had a future in basketball or not.
Yeah, so like it what really like did it for me was like seeing my friends, like the people I grew up with, like commit, like he offers like I played with Bryce Sensabaugh,
Mhm.
going to Ohio State, and like me and him been boys since I can't even tell you second grade, first grade, and like seeing like guys like that, like Riley going to Mississippi State. Well, he decommitted, but like those type of guys, like seeing them like strive like that. I mean, like I want to eat just like them. So it was just like I'm not gonna say like it made me jealous, but I'd say like it made me like damn, like why am I not? You know what I'm saying? Like why am I not like at my best?
Yeah, I'm sure it probably got you to work harder too. I would assume, kind of seeing people around you that you think, like, or you've like, you've hooped with before. Like, I'm sure you maybe played against Riley before, or if not, like, you at least know who he is. You obviously play with Bryce, kind of guys that you think are at the same level at. I'm sure it probably got you to work harder as well.
Exactly. And guarding Bryce every day in practice just makes me like 1,000 times better. Like 1,000 times better.
Yeah. So I guess I know I guess the AU team you play for, Team Judah Nation. I feel like you guys were, almost an under the radar team, at least kind of when you were playing with them. But now I think they're entering into one of the UAA circuits. So I guess you guys really just paved the way for kids kind of that were in your position to now play for that team. And it's almost like, when you think of an EYBL team, it's like, oh, you're playing EYBL. Like, that's like almost locking in a D1 offer. Now it's basically going to be the same thing. So I guess what does that mean to you now, where you kind of helped out a lot of kids down the road, where when they're playing for Team Judah Nation, like, they're really going to be able to secure a future for themselves?
Yeah, it's a great feeling just knowing that like these kids have opportunities. Like they have the opportunity I didn't have. Like like all these kids are sky's the limit for everybody. Like they're all gonna be great. They're all gonna strive. They're all gonna go to Division 1, Division 2. Like they're gonna play at the highest level. And like I just had a conversation with my coach about it, and it's just like it's a blessing. It is a blessing.
And
So
I'm sure Adrian Roberts, is probably one of your boys, because I know he played with the same AAU team as well. We were talking about this
wait,
when
say
I
it
saw
again?
him.
Say
Oh,
what?
I said I'm assuming that Adrian Roberts is probably one of your
Oh, okay.
one of yeah. I'm assuming he's probably one of your boys because he played for Team Junior Nation as well. But we were talking about this when I saw that they got on the UAA circuit. I'm like, damn, like that kind of sucks for you, where you're playing on this team, whatever. I guess having to do all the dirty work, and now all of a sudden, like now everyone before you, like you're done with AU basketball, but now everyone kind of gets all the good stuff.
Exactly.
So that'll kind of suck in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, I mean, it made me a little like wow, but like it doesn't really affect me because we got to play against the best teams in the country. Like we played against like a whole bunch of EYBO teams. We played against all the good Adidas teams. Like it was all the same, but I mean, I would have liked to play on the UAA circuit too, just a little bit. It would have been cool.
So what was that? I feel like that really shows something though about like that team, and I guess about players like you, where you guys honestly kind of sound like you. I'm sure you could have played for Team Breakdown, Each One Teach One, Night Riders, kind of one SOH, like one of
Yeah,
those teams. But you almost like sacrifice doing that to build up a team with Team Judah Nation. So it's what that show about, I guess, you as a player and as a person, where you sacrifice some of that stuff to help other people out in the future, pretty much.
yeah, yeah. So the reason I really ended up playing with judo was because I found that those other circuits, like those teams, tend to be like super political, and I don't know if this is okay to be. I don't even. But yeah, I just think it's super like a lot to do with politics, and I just don't want to get caught up in all that type of stuff. And being one of those players that like if I go on a each one teach one or Night Riders, or I'm not gonna be the. I know for a fact that I'm not the best player on that team, and I'm gonna be overlooked no matter what because I don't have like the ranking, the things like that. So that's really the main reason why like I really didn't feel like the reason of playing with teams like that. If that like makes sense.
Yeah. No, and I feel like with AAU, I feel like it's one thing in high school. It's like, let's say you transfer to Montverde or something like that, and you're almost like one of the bench players on that team. But I think AAU basketball, like AAU is not the time for you to ride the bench and be on a good team. Like AAU's like it's made for you to showcase your talent. So I feel like, if it was high school, different story, but this is AAU. So it's like you gotta play on a team where you really show what you could do.
Exactly. Yeah, that's key right there because you have to. I mean, everybody's trying to do the same thing, like trying to go to college. So like that little bit of time that you do get on the court, you gotta be able to showcase like what you can really do, like who you are. Like yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like for you? I guess to receive your first Division 1 offer, kind of after all that hard work.
So my so we went to Georgia for GBCA Live, and we were put against Berkmar, a team out of Georgia, at Lake Point. And after I got my first offer from Kennesaw State, and I got the chills a little bit. It kind of like threw me off. Yeah, it was a great feeling, knowing like this is what I've been trying to do all my life. Like this is what I've been working for, and like being able to accomplish that, and now like being able to commit was just a whole nother thing. Like, yeah, yeah, great feeling. Just a great feeling.
And obviously, Kennesaw State was not the only school that ended up offering you. So, what was it like again with your whole career? You're thinking maybe I'm not going to play college basketball. Then all of a sudden, you get one offer, and then now you get to the point where you have to pick between a few schools of which one you want to go to. So, I guess how cool is that for you to experience that process and going from a kid where you didn't think you would have one offer to now having a bunch and you got to pick one?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have enough offers to make like a top five. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you know like tipped in top five. But I mean, being able to like it was difficult. I could say it was difficult because it was like, am I making the right choice? Like it actually became more like it became harder for me as a person. Like sleepless nights. Like there's been times where like during that process where I was like not talking to nobody because like I was like so like locked in or like even like messed up because I was like trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. But like it's like a blessing and a curse at the same time because it's like you don't want to ruin or break that coach's heart that's been trying to recruit you for how many days, how many weeks, how many months. But then again, like this is your life that you're playing with. Like this is like what like this is like your future.
yep. Yeah, I definitely agree where you come from for sure. Like, I guess you'd say I'm going through I basically the same thing you're saying. Like, I'm not, I guess, really getting recruited with a full scholarship to go to any sort of college or anything. But basically, all this spring break, 'cause I'm on spring break right now. I'll just be like on my phone, just looking at like schools and researching schools, and like I just have no idea. Like, I have on my floor in my room, I have two shirts to the two schools I'm probably gonna go to. I just like I'll stare at them. I'm like, which which
Yeah,
one am I gonna put on? Like literally right behind me. I can just look at it whenever I want. But it's definitely, I guess, like because it like it's your future and like I feel like at every
exactly.
school, at least for me, like every school has something good, but then it's like I'm sacrificing something that's good at the other school to go there. So it's like you can't make a wrong decision, but then it's like you can't make like a perfect decision. I think that's like what
So
makes
yeah,
it kind of tough.
so when I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to do, like it was like kind of that like if I go here, I'm gonna start, but I'm 90,000 miles away from home.
Mhm.
Or like if I go here, I'm gonna get a little bit of playing time, and I'm 5 hours away from home. Like it's just like sometimes it's sacrifices that really like have like a big effect on like your decisions.
Yeah. So I guess if you could, I guess share this. Well, I'm sure you give like half this answer, but if you can, like, what were I guess the pros of you coming to Mercer, obviously, but what were maybe some of the things you maybe gave up so that you can play at Mercer?
Wait, say it one more time.
Like, what were the pros of you coming to Mercer, and then I guess maybe what were like some of the things that I guess you kind of had to sacrifice in order to play at Mercer?
Oh, so the pros was I'm close to home. Like it's like my school I go to. It's like Highland. Like it's nice and small, not too big, not too many people. But then again, like I feel like I have a chance to play a lot, and like the coaches are like absolutely like they're great. Like they love you, they care for you, like things like that. Cons, I wouldn't say there's no cons. It's just like yeah, there's no cons. I don't think yeah, there was no cons. Like that was the reason why. That's the reason why I chose Mercer. It's because there was no cons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mercer that school's like kind of is it kind of near Atlanta? I know it's in Georgia, I think.
Yeah, it's like an hour away from Atlanta.
Yeah, I think the location I think is pretty well. I mean, I would love to like if the
Yeah.
school is literally right in Atlanta, but I think that's like a great like location, especially kind of where like you're from. to there. I think it's like, it's like far enough, or it's like pretty far away where you're like far away from home, like you can't drive home like too often. But then like, you don't like, you kind of have options of how you want to get to the school. Like you could drive up and it's not terrible. You could fly and it's not gonna be bad either. I think
Exactly.
like location's pretty good too.
Exactly. Exactly. It's right in the middle. Like it's
Hmm.
perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
How good do you think you guys are gonna end up being next year, you think?
I personally, after I watched the season and I watched all the other teams, like I watched every time we played. I say that we have a chance of winning the conference. I don't think there's like nobody that'll be able to play with us. And yeah, yeah. This year was a little rough,
Mhm.
but we'll bounce back next year. I got my guys coming in with me, so
Yep.
I think we'll be all right.
What was it like also, looks like you took a visit there. How was that experience just being able to take an official visit?
Yeah. So I had 3 or 4. I had four visits planned, and Mercer was my first one. And I ended up when I got there, I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then the next day, after I met everybody, got to know everybody, I was like, yeah, this is the school. And before I even walked off campus, I knew where I wanted to go. I didn't really like say anything to nobody. Not even my mom knew. Like I just knew where I wanted to go. And that plane ride back with my mom, I told her like that I was ready to commit and like there was no reason for me to go on the officials. So I ended up canceling all my officials after that, and I ended up committing 2 days
Yeah.
later. Well, I committed that night,
Wow.
or maybe the next. Yeah, I committed that night, and then 2 days later, I released it.
Mm. So I'm curious for you, like, because you kind of mentioned, I mean, committing to a school, like that's kind of a big deal. Like that decision could affect, your whole future. So how come you didn't choose to,
Yeah.
I guess, take your time and visit every school? Because who knows, maybe like a school was better than you expected. How come you just chose to just commit there, like right after that first visit, instead of taking the rest of them?
So the night before I left, to Mercer for my official, I talked to my goddad about it, and he was like, "If it hugs you, hug it back." And there was no reason to like, and I thought about that, and when I felt the feeling that I got when I stepped on campus and talked to everybody, there was no reason why I was to even try to even go to other schools because I knew this where I was supposed to be.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like a good point too, because well, one, I think with Corona and the way it's been with the whole transfer portal, like if you take
Yeah,
your time, you could like lose every single offer. But then
exactly.
two, it's like it allows you like you're not going to overthink the process, because if you overthink it too, and you visit every school and you're like crap, like which one am I going to go to, like whatever, and then you like overthink the whole thing, then you could also end up making like
Yeah,
the wrong decision as well. So I think that's definitely like a really valid point.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess enough about the whole, Mercer stuff. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later. Maybe we won't. But I want to talk about the season. Lake Highland Prep. Obviously, you guys unfortunately lost to Calvary Christian in the state semifinal. But
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were a loaded team. You guys had Bryce Sensbaugh, who was committed to Ohio State. You obviously had a lot of good players on the team. So what was this season like for you? In your senior year?
I mean, it was great. I wouldn't trade it for anything else. Like I got to play with my best friends. Like I've been playing with these kids since I was in Bryce since second grade, and then Jared going to Embry-Riddle. I've been playing with him since fourth, fifth grade, and then I got kids on the team that I've been playing with since sixth grade. Like that's like a family, and like being able to finish my last season with them, just like it topped it off. And the last game that we played, like after, it didn't even hurt that we lost. Like it hurt that like I had to like this is the last time I'm gonna be playing with them. So like yeah, I feel like I should have cherished the moments that we had like as a team better. If that makes sense.
Yeah. No, definitely makes sense for sure. Would you say though, I guess being able to get your recruiting process out of the way because obviously like I think you committed like before the season started, you committed in September or
Yep.
you committed in September. So was being able to just get that out of the way before the season starts that really allow you to lock in because you guys did go very very far this season. So would you say that being able to just focus only on the season allowed you guys to go so far since your recruiting process was done with?
Yeah. So being committed before the season started had like a big effect on like the way I played. Instead of me being so structured and like kind of like trying so hard to like get an offer or get that offer I wanted, like I could play free, like I can play calm. Like there was no reason for me like try to impress nobody. Like, and I believe like I should play like that no matter what. And and like yeah, I mean being committed before the season started was like perfect timing. Like it was just perfect timing.
Yeah, and I'm trying to check. It looks like even Bryce as well was committed before the season started. So I guess that really kind of went well for you guys, where it really was more of like a stress free in terms of recruitment wise season. Like you guys, literally everyone was able to just focus on, just playing
Exactly.
well as a team.
Yep. Yep.
Do you have a favorite moment from this season?
Say it again.
Do you have a favorite moment from the season?
Favorite moment from the season? I think just chilling in the hotel rooms. Yeah, chilling in the hotel rooms like that was like the best time of my life was chilling in the hotel rooms together. Like from the summer, like we chilled during when we went to Kentucky. We had like we like it felt like these were like my brothers that I've been with for years. Like and I like I said I wouldn't trade it for anything else.
Yeah, definitely get where you're coming from for sure. What about in terms of maybe I guess your favorite game or something like that? Because I know you guys played against some good teams, even from South Florida. Like you played versus Pines Charter in a good game. I mean, I know you guys lost Calvary Christian again, but still, they're a great team, and you guys kind of stuck with them. Do you have like maybe a favorite game?
Uh, my favorite game has to be versus Windermere Prep, and they wasn't even. It's not even that they were like it's our rival. So like it was a super deep game. Like fans talking trash or Bishop Moore, another rival. Like all the rival games like were my favorites because it was like fans talking crazy like in the stands, saying all this stuff to us like and like it was just fun like that environment being in that environment and then beating them was even better.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How is it for you also, I guess, this year? Because I know last year the environments were definitely not like that. Your sophomore year, luckily, I guess Florida got to kind of play it out sophomore year, but really, your junior year was nowhere near like how it was this year in terms of the atmospheres and the amount of games, everything. So, what was it like? I guess how happy are you that this senior year was, I guess you could say, a pretty normal one basketball wise?
Yeah. So my junior year I ended up getting hurt in regional finals the first 2 minutes of the game and we ended up losing to a buzzer beater, which kind of hit a little different. Just knowing that like, what if like we could have like what if we won or like do you think we could have won states like that type of stuff. So like this year, just being able to play against like probably like the best players in the country. Like these guys like I give it to them like they're like the best players in the country. You got Greg Glenn, Marvell, um, Taylor Hendricks, like all these guys. Like they're all like they're really good players. And like that game, I feel was supposed to be the championship game, and yeah, like for my last game being against them, I would say it's a success.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from for sure. I mean, I'm kind of curious. which player for you? Since I feel like you played a lot, like I feel like Lake Highland Prep is more like a national team than Team Junior Nation is like. They started off as almost like Florida only kind of team. Then you guys started playing more national known like AAU teams. Like which player for you would you say was I guess the best player you've gone up against?
Oh, probably a couple, like a handful. Like there's probably like three that I'll say like all equally like. Um, Arterio Morris, I think his name is. Going to
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah, he's a bucket.
Yeah, we played against him up in Kansas. We lost to him by a buzzer beater. I tried to set a charge and they called a block. Yeah, that was bad. But him, I can't say Bryce because Bryce is, yeah, nah. I lock Bryce up all the time. So Arterio Morris, I'm gonna say Emmanuel Sharp, and yeah, it's all point guard. Yeah, so Arterio Morris, Emmanuel Sharp, and probably Bruce Thornton. I don't know. Yeah, probably Bruce.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
I like Bruce's game. I think he's tough.
yeah, he was, yeah. He like when we played against him, he like did not like put the ball like he didn't do no dribble moves.
Mhm.
He just like it was super weird. Like he didn't go between his legs. He didn't go behind his back. He was just like dribble. Like it was so weird. Like I was, yeah, nah, yeah,
Yeah.
them three.
I feel
Yeah,
like Bruce is just like super strong, and then like he's kind of just plays like really hard. Like he'll just kind of just driving, get fouled. Like he's literally like I almost feel like he's like a football player and a basketball player's body in a way. I could see him like being like a running back or something, but
yeah,
he plays basketball. But yeah, he doesn't really have like too many like fancy moves. He's just very like
exactly.
fun down.
Oh, and Kobe King from Pine Charter.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a little different. I feel like from I guess the Manuel Sharp and Brucethorne. Like
Yeah.
he's more. I never really seen him go off, but he's definitely more of like it's a flashier, like athletic kind of guy. I guess you could say.
Yeah, one play where he just stole the ball and like took one step and like dunked it. Like it was so weird. Like he just like, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, he gave us like 20 and we lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I feel like for you, I guess like kind of comparing you to Brucethorne, like Emmanuel Sharp. I feel like you kind of have that similar like body type, kind of where you're not like just super tall and like lengthy. Like you're more of like a big strong guard, I guess in a way. Would you say that's kind of like your
Yeah.
style of play? I've never seen you play.
Yeah. It's just like playing against guys like me. That's basically how I see it. Just like what, like, yeah. It's just playing against guys like me. Bruce is super like nonchalant. Like he just is super like poised. Like he does everything right. He doesn't turn the ball over. Emmanuel uses his body well, being able to finish through big guys, like that type of stuff. So
Yeah. So do you consider yourself like a flashy kind of player or not really?
now I wouldn't say flashy, but sometimes I do throw a little something in there, like some
Mhm.
passes that would like get the crowd going a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And I know I kind of asked you a question like, which player was, one of the hardest for you to guard or whatever, one of the best players you faced up against. But I want to talk about a little more about Team Junior Nation because I feel like that team has a lot of, underrated guys on it. Like a few I know you, Adrian Bronson, Adrian Roberts. I'm sure there's even more.
Yeah.
There's a team full of underrated dogs, I feel like. So which guys in that team do you think are just still like really underrated?
Um, sheesh. I'm gonna go. Edrin is definitely one of the most underrated players I ever played with. Him, he's younger than us, so that tells you something. So him, Adrian from North Broward Prep, Caleb Young, he goes to a school in Pensacola, but like he's supposed to have like crazy offers right now. I don't know. some coach has to pick him up. And I'm gonna go with my last one, LeJay. LeJay, yeah, he goes to Fletcher up in Jacksonville. Yeah, he's really good, super good. All these kids are super underrated, and I feel like they deserve more exposure. They definitely deserve more exposure.
Yeah. I feel like it's one thing to, be in a stacked team where everyone's just loaded up with offers. Like I think that's cool, but I mean, what is that kind of like being on a team like Team Judah Nation? Again, like what I said a second ago, it's just basically filled with all underrated players all on one team. What's it like being on a team, where everyone's underrated?
It's great because we all know what we're all trying to do the same thing. Instead of us like being trying to be flashy, like trying to like we all know like we have to play our role to get like certain like to get our offers. Like that's all. That's basically like what like travel ball is about, like getting known because like this is your life you're talking about. So we all basically know like what to do, like what we need to do, and we don't do like too extra. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Man, I had like, oh yeah, all right. I thought I forgot my question, but luckily I remembered my next question. So I guess I'm curious for you, because some of these guys, on Team Judah Nation, like they're not committed yet. Some of them don't have offers. They don't really know where they're going. I mean, you are, I guess you could say, one of the fortunate ones. You're committed to Mercer. You already know where you're going, whatever. How does that, I guess, like, what do you think about that? Where you almost got more than some of the other kids on your team. Like, how do you kind of feel about that?
It messes with me just a little bit because like I know all these guys' potential, and it affects me because I know like these guys can be on the same level that I am, and like we all played against the same amount of guys, and we all played just as hard. You know what I'm saying? So like knowing that these guys should have like offers, like just as many as I do, it really like it messes with me, and it hurts to see like them like I would have never thought they would have had to like play like post grad things like that. Like I don't. It just it messes with me a lot. It really does affect me.
Yeah, for sure. And now a couple of questions I'd like to ask to obviously the interview on a more positive note. I guess one, you're heading to Mercer. I guess we really talk about the team's potential. What are maybe some goals that you have for yourself in terms of what you want to accomplish there and accomplish in college?
Yeah. So first and foremost, I want to play. That's key. Basically, get out there and hoop. Other thing is I want to be able to like to come in my first year and and lead the team, be a leader, not just the like. I don't want to come in being just a freshman. Like I don't want to be like they just think I'm just a freshman. Like I'm not that type of guy. Like I want to be able to lead the team to either like a conference championship, something like that. Like being able to just get our guys right, if that makes sense. And yeah, mainly win, just win. I want to win.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I know you end up picking. I think you already picked a degree for what you want to study in college. Looks like you'll be studying, I guess, business and finance. I'm curious. First off, like maybe it's just because we're getting closer to the time where you're going to be heading to college. Maybe that's why But the guys I talked to before, like they're all like, I don't know what I'm going to study yet. Maybe some in the business. Like no one really knows yet. I mean, how'd you know that you wanted to study business and finance in college?
Yeah, so at my school, like we have like classes to where like I take the class I'm taking right now is financial algebra, and it basically like teaches you like how to do stock, like things like that, and like both through math or like how to like credit, like all that type of stuff. And I would really want to one day own my own business, like start my own business, own it, and like be a small business owner.
Mhm.
So it kind of just clicked with me.
Yeah. Does that count as your math class, or are you in like like a normal math class as well?
No, that counts as my math class.
Yeah, that's kind of fire though. That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm saying like it's pretty cool.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. And then
Yep.
I just one question I kind of have for you, more just overall about your basketball career. When it's all said and done, you step away from the game of basketball, whether you're, become, the best player of all time, or if, you stop playing maybe after college, just what do you want your legacy to be like?
Say it one more time.
What do you want your legacy to be like once you step away from the game of basketball?
Um, I want to be able to, like, I don't want to be, because my plan is to play probably overseas, something like that. And then, and I know the basketball is going to end up stop bouncing. But I do want to finish early because I want to be able to have a family, like, take care of my people, things like that. So I feel like, and I do want to start the biz, like, be a business owner. So I feel like if I want to do that, I'm gonna need time to be able to use my degree. So I feel like that's mainly what I want to do.
Yeah. Do you have any idea like what kind of business you want to own or create?
You know, I'm really into shoes. Like I really like shoes right now, obviously. But whatever. But at that time, we don't. I don't even know because the future is like super crazy. Like things have like there's flying cars now, like things like that. So
Yeah.
whatever's booming then, like maybe like try to or like start something that can like that can get me rich. If that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah, definitely, solid plan for sure. Just by any means necessary, he's got to get that bag. But a segment now. This is gonna be our final thing. I've been doing this. This is my fourth straight time doing this. I'm trying to keep us up. Basically, I took this from a podcast that Duncan Robinson has, where him and his co-host summarize the interview with one word. They kind of explain why. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of say one word that I think maybe summarize the interview. Then you can go next. I gotta think. I don't know. I don't want to say something too basic. Trying to come up with like a more unique word. I think. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with hardworking. I'm gonna go with hardworking. I feel like it's a little basic, but I'm gonna say hardworking because I feel like being a guy from Team Judah Nation, obviously that like understand like that was kind of a journey to get to where you are
Yeah.
today from the teams building them up. Also, going to a mid-major school, then you kind of have like a lot of good goals for life. How to make money, provide for a family, all that stuff. So I think my word for the interview, I'm gonna summarize this as hardworking.
I'm gonna go with I like that word though. Hardworking is perfect. Like low key, that's like a perfect word. Mm, but I'm gonna say inspirational
I like it. I like it.
because because like when we go back to guys like on my team that are supposed to be like playing at one of the highest levels of basketball and they're not, it just goes to show you like even me, like I had zero offers, like, and that could be anybody in the world, like that probably thinks the same way, and I'm pretty sure like 99% of kids that I've talked to are probably gonna go through the same thing, like, and don't let that determine like who you are as a person, because like it's gonna happen eventually. So yeah, I'm gonna go with inspirational.
Definitely, bro. Well, anyways, man, we really appreciate your time coming on, letting me interview you. Definitely means a lot. So just before we end the interview, make sure you guys give us both a follow on Instagram. His is at jaw.quinones. And I'm at iHoopsFL. And anyways, for 2022 Mercer commit, Jaw Quinones. I'm Isaac Fleischer, and this has been another Hoops FL interview. Peace out, guys.